What's going on, everybody? If you're a fan of my work and you've seen in the past, because I talk about it all the time, I am actually a member of the Envato Elements plan. This is where I get the majority of the music and sound effects and templates that I use to create my real estate productions, flyers, brochures, and all that. Well, if you are, like me, a subscriber to the Envato plan, you probably already have access to this. And if you have absolutely no interest in being a subscriber, for a one-time fee, you could buy it. But I'm going to be talking today about the Super Creators Pack that you can find on Envato. Now, I personally use all kinds of cool stuff. They have everything in it from transitions, titles, sound effects, but I digress. Either way, I'll be talking about a few things that I personally use the most from this Creators Pack, and if you stick around in the end, I'll give you a chance to win your very own free copy. Let's go. All right, everyone. So before we get started, I thought I should go ahead and say that they did not sponsor this video. I do actually use this product, but they did give me a copy of this Super Creators Pack just to show you. And if you stick around to the end, like I said earlier, I actually have 3 giveaways, so I'll show you how you can get a part of that giveaway to get one of these for free. So now that I've mentioned that, let's go ahead and jump right on into the computer and the very first thing I'm going to show you. The very first thing that I think is really cool about this Super Creators Pack is I'm not even bringing up Davinci Resolve yet. I'm just going to bring up my folders because these are all of my music folders right here on my computer. All of my audio effects. This sound effects folder right here is specifically from the Super Creators Pack. Everything in here came with it. So we'll open it up and you can already see there are tons and tons. There we go. I finally made it to the bottom of different sound effects that you can use. But what I think is really cool is they literally have, these are all just kind of sound effects that you would use here and there. They've got some whooshes and some swooshes, but the ones I use the most are right up here. There's some glitch ones. There's multiple folders. Each of these have like 10 inside of it. They're all different pitches and different lengths. So you can really find the swoosh that works best for your project. If you're anything like me, then you probably sit around for hours on end looking at new music, looking at audio, looking at anything that sounds good. I go through so many music tracks trying to decide what to actually use in my projects, and the same goes with audio files. So these audio files were actually a giant help for me in my production because I wasn't constantly trying to go search these down and license them per project. They were all right here and they're all very easy, obviously drag and drop, easy to use audio effects. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is we're going to actually open up Resolve so I can show you a bunch of the little things that come with it that I actually do use. So we're in Davinci Resolve. Let's just go ahead and I'll show you how often I actually do use these. If I open up my effects library, you can see right over here on the left, these are all my favorites, the ones that I have starred and the ones that I use the most often. If you can look through them, every time you see the word SUP, S-U-P, this is from the Super Creators Pack. Now I've downloaded a few of these packs in my time, so I have a bunch on here, but look how many, look, only one of them is not from the Super Creators Pack. So that ought to tell you, here is like 20, 30 that I use regularly. Everything from little blips and blurbs that pop up on the screen to things like titles and transitions. So the very first thing we're going to do is go on around to, let's do the video transitions first. Now for real estate, one that I use all the time is the one that I have up right here. Now, voila, you see that? I use this a lot for going from the outside to the inside of a property. Now here we go. There's this one, which is the traditional zoom blur, but which one I prefer is the camera zoom in blur. I feel like this really sells the effect, especially when you're going from exteriors to interiors, just like that. So if you look at my outside shot, there you go, standard outside shot, slowly pushing in, nice front door shot, and then all of a sudden one transition, boom, pushes you inside of the house. So that's just one of the transitions that I like. So another transition set that I seem to use quite often, especially when creating content for social media. If you're creating content for your own social media, or if you're doing social media packages for your agents or brokers or brokerages, then this is one that looks really cool for social media. And they're all these shape and displacement transitions. As you can see, as I scroll by, they all have really unique looks. And this is why I don't have any of them starred in my thing, because I just remember what they're called. They're all very unique. The one I use the most is number 18 or 16 maybe. Let's see, I think, oh yeah, it's this one, right? Nope. Here we go. It's this one with the box in the middle, number 14. Just because I think it's cool for social media. But like I said, there's a lot of cool little transitions and effects down here and the displacement. As you can see, there's also some that do spins. So it really just depends on what you're looking for. They do fast spins, quick spins. Everything is directional and labeled that way. So if you want to go mid, down, and right, mid, up, and left, all of it is labeled. These split transitions are also really good for social media, and I don't use them a lot in my real estate videos, but I do use them. So whenever I'm creating my real estate videos, one thing to keep in mind is that you can definitely go overboard on the transitions easily. I try to limit myself to 2, maybe 3 cool transitions per video. I've got about 20, 25 clips, so maybe 30 depending on it per video. So 2 to 3 cool transitions is just enough to keep it interesting, but not too much that makes it like hacky and annoying to watch. Let's continue on this path and let's move out of the transitions world, since I just said I don't really use that many of them, and we're gonna go over to the titles page. The titles is where I think it's really at, because this is what took a long time to transfer over to Davinci Resolve. You could easily find title packs for Premiere Pro and After Effects, but just recently have you really been able to find them for Davinci Resolve. And boom, sup elements. These are all different title screens. Now, what's really cool about this is these titles are so varied. So if you're looking for something professional, they have it. If you're looking for something creative, they have it. Cartoony, they have it. Very clean, they have it. It's really, what's cool about these is not the fact that you're going to use every single one of these titles, because you probably won't. You'll probably only use 3 or 4 of them, but they have them all made and ready for you and very, very easy to use. So I'll scroll on down here. As you can see, I have lots of titles. So the infographs bar, I use this one quite often. Then we'll come down here, another infographs bar. These are all just the infographics that I use quite often. Now these are all considered titles, but you can see them popping across my screen and exactly what they do as I hover across them. This one right here, super useful. But here we go, here's more of them. There's this one and this one. So like just circle graphics. Look, they've got 1 style, 2 style, 3 style, 4 style, 5 styles, all just of circles, and all of these colors are easily editable, easy to change around. Like I can throw this on here and look, just as easy, I can change this gradient to blue. So there we go. Now it's more on par for my personal color scheme for my business, but that's how easy it is. They're all very easy to manipulate, very easy to mess with. It just depends on what you want to get into. They're also drag and drop. So if you don't want to mess with any of that, you want something that's just ready to go, like this one right here, all you got to do is stick it on here and go. Change the size, make it bigger, smaller. All of these colors, value is how far up you want that circle to go. Position is where you want it to be. So if you want it to be start right there in the center, you can make it start halfway like this. It just depends on what you want. Double click it and it'll go back to where it started at. Same as before, double click back to where you're started at. So those are some of the circle graphs that I use and the infographs that I use. Here is a infographic grid if you're trying to plot something over a monthly database. Once again, these are all stuff that you'll never have to create on your own. You'll easily be able to drag and drop and edit them from right in this program. More pie charts. Here we go. You don't like circles, you want pies instead? We got those too, pie charts. The super pie, they call it. Look at that, in case you need everything. But this one I have actually already used once, so I shouldn't make fun of it too much. But here we go. Let's go down here even further. Now these other little highlight circles is what I use these for. So if I'm doing a video and I'm trying to highlight an area, like let's say I'll drag it right over this, just to give you an example. Like let's say that the address was very unique, right? All you got to do, scale this thing down nice and small, bring it over right on top of this address like so, keep on going with it, scale it down a little bit more. And just like that, as you can see, you have this nice little circle graphic added to the other stuff that's already going on, trying to give you a more unified and unique process. Like I said, you can do that with everything. That's just how I use it personally in my real estate workflow. We'll go down and show you one more, and that is something like this. These are the little link drops that you can do. So I will pop one of these on, like, let's say there's a hidden fridge. Boom, hidden fridge right here, or a built-in fridge that you can't see because it has all of the cabinet parts in front of it to make it look built in. Another thing that I use, which is down here, oh, that's just another one of those. Here we go. Look at these little simple titles. This one right here, you'll notice I use a lot in my videos. I've changed the color palette, obviously, but I use it all the time because it's super easy, super clean. That's what matters the most to me, is it's clean and easy to use. Now we can scroll. Here's a typography one I use a lot. I don't use these colors, but I use this pop-up on the bottom because I think it's very useful. Here we go. We'll scroll down here. Some subscriber buttons. You see these? Depends on what you want. There's a bunch of these down here. There's little, here we go, end screens in case you need those for your videos. I'm personally not doing the end screen thing yet, but I guess I could use it because they're all right here. I just kind of make my videos end however they end. So that's just me personally. But there's also like these I really like over here. So if you're doing some sort of like infographic for an agent interview or something like that, and you want their name and agency to pop up on the screen, these are all of them. This is the one I personally use the most, and I changed that color triangle to whatever the color of the agency is. There we go. Look, I mean, I've been rolling on this one for a little while because, as you can see, the titles is really where I think it's at for this pack because they have so many unique graphic title packages in here. We'll go all the way down to the bottom. There's even little text bubbles from you if you want to be pretending to think or say something. What else could you want, right? That's it. That's the whole thing. I just wanted to go over this because I find it a super useful program, or should I say, I find it a super useful download for myself. I've used tons of other downloads that I never ever used them after a small amount of time, but this one I've used ever since. So now that we're at the end of it, I'm going to tell you how you can get your free copy. So in 2 months' time, I will be drawing 3 names, should I say. Not 1, not 2, but 3, because that's how many I have to give away. 3 names. And in order to get your copy, all you have to do is comment down below, after, of course, liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Comment down below and talk about what gear you use to make your real estate video. I would love to know what gimbal you're using, what slider you're using, what camera you use, and what lens you use. If you mark all 4 of those things underneath this video, then in 2 months' time, on December 1st, I will be doing my drawing and be giving away 3 of these for free. So check out the link below if you want to buy it and you don't care about getting one for free. And as always, keep rocking, keep enjoying yourself, and I'll catch you next time.